Hi, my name is Rachel Shetterly, and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about myself and why I participated in this collection of caregiving stories. I'm married to Steve, and we live on a farm in central Pennsylvania. We own a boarding stable where we care for 26 horses and their humans. We have 5 children. Abigail is married and has our granddaughter. Then there's Elizabeth, Benjamin, Ethan, and Andrew. I, by nature, am a nurturer and a caregiver, even though I came into the caregiving role quite unexpectedly and not by choice. It was a role that I fell into because, as part of the nature of how God created me, I cannot help but love others. So in 2001, when my mother needed care, I stepped up to the plate and helped with her care needs until she passed in May of 2013. I do have 3 older sisters, and we all work together to make my mother's life as comfortable and pleasant as possible. My mother was diagnosed with diabetes and congestive heart failure, and she was on dialysis for about 12 years. And this required a 3 times a week treatment. And, I taught my kids how to drive, taking her to dialysis treatments and coming home. My father worked full-time to provide for insurance needs so that her care could be adequately paid for. So fast forward 7 years to 2020, and as we speak, my father is now in hospice, and his needs are also becoming a little demanding. But again, the 4 of us sisters are working together to give him a quality end of life. I participated in sharing my story of caregiving because I realize that many of the situations that we face as caregivers are universal in the feelings that we encounter, and I wanted to provide a message of hope for caregivers that caregiving is not the end of the road. When our loved one passes, we have time to grieve and mourn, and then there is a life beyond that. It is hard to imagine at times that there can be a life after caregiving, but 7 years later, I realized that after attending grief share sessions and meeting with a spiritual director and also seeking professional counseling, I have been able to take the pieces of my grief and turn them into love for others. And this has helped me on my journey. And now, as I watch my father in his final stages of life, I realize that our family is rather unique in the way that we take care of our loved ones. And I am grateful that we can work together as a family. And when we have situations about which we don't necessarily agree, we are able to voice those disagreements and come to an understanding and a mutual agreement on what the pattern of care should be. So I hope that as you read the stories of all of our caregiving journeys, for some of us, our carees have passed. For others of us, they are still alive. But I hope and pray that as you read our stories, that you will find hope and strength and courage to take the next step and to face the next moment.